believe I've convinced 3 people to marry me in my life. It's amazing. Anyway, all right. I will be lurking in the comments until you summon me.
All right. Thank you all for listening to our chit chat prior to our session here. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our MoxiWorks Hours session on creating a custom page. That's our title today, but we actually have some bonus information today that we want to share with you. As you know, our purpose of this call is to go into a particular topic or two on the MoxiWorks platform, and in the until end of March, we're going to go with MoxiPresent and MoxiImpress, and then probably at the beginning of March timeframe. At the beginning of March timeframe, and if you could mute yourself, that'd be fantastic. The beginning of March timeframe, we're going to start introducing some Moxie Engage sessions. So be looking forward to that. Here is our team. This is your MoxiWorks engagement team made up of folks from the Realogy product marketing side and also directly from MoxiWorks. My name is Alex Castro. I'll be your co-host today. I'm going to be joined with Angie Myers, who's on the call. She's going to be sharing with us some cool information on MoxiImpress. And also she's going to be available to answer your questions in chat, as well as myself, as well as Amy, as well as Brett. So if you have any questions regarding any topic, and it doesn't have to be exactly the topic that we're talking about at the time, please feel free to type that in chat. And when you do, send it to everyone, okay? Not just to a particular person on our team, unless it's private, of course, unless you wanted to direct it specifically to one of us, that's fine. But if it's a question that you just general knowledge that you want to kind of share with everybody else, just in case somebody else has that same question, send it to everyone, and so that when we reply, it replies to everybody. All right. So also a few housekeeping items. Please keep yourself on mute. We're going to open it up for general questions and answers at the end of our session. Hopefully the last 5-10 minutes, so you can ask your question live. I know some of you like that part of the session where you can just ask questions with one of us. That's fine. Or you can type it in, as I mentioned earlier. Everybody who registers for this class, you guys are participants, so by default you have registered, but everybody who registered for this session is going to receive a follow-up email that includes the recording link, the Zoom recording link, as well as any other hyperlinks that we share to upcoming sessions, resource material, PDF files. You'll be emailed as well. Here's our agenda for today. We're going to just quickly go over some kind of information, especially those of you who just joined us in terms of this is your first MoxiWorks Hours that you ever attended. We're going to talk about MoxiImpress best practices. So Angie is going to take probably a couple minutes to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about resources. And then the majority of our time is going to be spent today on MoxiPresent. And Brett, our SME, our subject matter expert, is going to go live, right, Brett? Demo MoxiPresent on creating a custom page.
Sure. You bet. I'll be live.
And then we're going to do some Q&A. So supporting our MoxiWorks journey, why it matters, we feel that because of the impact that MoxiWorks platform can have on your business, right? It's a great investment of your time is to attend these MoxiWorks hours so that you can be more comfortable and use it to increase your production. Support. We all know that once in a while, you're going to need support. Hopefully everybody has already visited support.moxiworks.com. That is otherwise known as our success portal. If you haven't visited that yet, you don't have to wait until you actually have a question or a problem or something happened. Visit that, because if you want to know what's coming around the corner, let's say that your company is in the midst of phase 2 rollout or launch of the MoxiWorks products, right? And you want to know what's in Moxie Engage. Well, guess what? Support.moxiworks.com has a bunch of screenshots, videos, how-tos, step-by-step information that you're going to find extremely valuable, right? If you kind of want to get ahead of the curve, so to speak. Also on each page, at the bottom right-hand side of your screen. Big old help button. There's an Autobot that will answer your questions pretty accurately, right? So it's going to have a lot of resources that it pulls to help answer your question using that red help button at the bottom of your page, and the submit a ticket is on the upper right-hand side of your page. So if you have a question or problem, support.moxieworks.com, upper right-hand side, that's where you submit a ticket. Get that ticket number, write it down so that we can escalate as needed. And here's just kind of a screenshot, right? You also have industry-wide case studies, articles, hot tips, lots of resources available to you at that website. No login required to access support.moxieworks.com. Real high level, for those of you who just kind of your first experience to MoxiWorks Hours, most of you hopefully have already received the marketing pack. That is MoxiPresent, MoxiImpress. These two products we're actually going to talk about today, not in as an overview, but kind of a deep dive into something specific about each of these products. What's forthcoming for a lot of you in phase 2, as we call it? This is the productivity pack. That includes your Moxie websites and Moxie Engage. Moxie Talent is for anybody on the call who may be the recruiter, manager, broker owner, business development person. That is for recruiting, agent retention, Moxie Talent. But for all of you who are producing agents, Moxie websites, so you can create your custom website, and Moxie Engage. That is your CRM, customer relationship management system. Some of you are just kind of waiting like, oh my gosh, can't wait to get my hands on it. But guess what? You have a lot to at your disposal right now with MoxiPresent, MoxiImpress, as you'll find today. But I tell you one thing, kind of a quick tip, something to look forward to, Moxie websites. We just played around with it earlier this week. It's like 5 clicks. Create a website on your own using a template and you're done. Amazing. And of course, those of you who want to differentiate yourself, you can customize that to, any number of ways. But without further ado, I just wanted to kind of introduce our next speaker, Angie. We're going to talk about MoxiImpress best practices. We're just going to spend a couple minutes on this because we're going to also talk about MoxiPresent. I know some of you are really wanting to get more information on creating custom pages.
Alrighty. Well, I'm going to go through it. So, yep, we'll go through this. So I did want to point out first to everyone, as you guys know, MoxiImpress is a great way to market yourself, market your listings. They do have a fantastic MoxiWorks channel that has video tutorials. So if you are like me and you want to sit down and watch a 4-minute video on how to do something, that is available. We know you guys work around the clock, so that's there. You can access it at any time. If you could click one more time for me, Alex. Alrighty, so it is automated marketing, and that's something that I really appreciate because, again, you're out in the field, you're buying and selling real estate, you're busy. So once your listing goes live in your MLS, your materials are created and distributed automatically. So you can promote your new listing to the market. Generally speaking, this could be within a few hours, depending on your MLS, or the night after you submit that listing. So it doesn't take very long at all. And the next piece of it is once anything has updated. So if you've made a change, let's say that you're going to host an open house or you've dropped the price, any kind of unique event with your listing is going to trigger additional targeted marketing materials. They're created for you automatically. And then the final piece of it is when the property closes, any public facing content is removed, and all of the targeted materials are created for promoting not only the property, but for promoting the agent, because we know it's really important as agents to stay top of mind, to kind of, show what we're doing to get that added business. So next slide, please, Alex. And here you'll see in MoxiPresent, again, with that automated email to market your listing, you're going to receive that email in your inbox. So be kind of looking for that, double check to make sure it doesn't go to spam. And you'll see you can create social media tactics to post or share with your sellers so that they can promote you as well. E-postcards, a virtual tour, a single property website, which usually sellers are extremely impressed by, flyers, postcards, all of the things, all of the great marketing that you need. And it's all professional marketing. So it's almost like you have that. It's almost like having a little assistant online that's going to help you to market yourself. So it's called MoxiPresent to make impressions. Yep, next slide. Great job, Alex. In addition to automated sources, you can go in and create your own marketing material. So if you want to create something from scratch, you have that ability. Digital marketing, print marketing, social media marketing, anything that you want to dive into. And again, there are some tutorials online in the MoxiWorks support that and the help desk that'll help you kind of learn how to do that. So I'm gonna give it back to you, Alex.
Thank you, Angie. Thank you very much. And maybe a question for Brett. Brett, when Angie mentioned automatically distributed, okay, so when you get a listing, an agent gets a listing, MoxiPresent sends the listing package of marketing material to that agent, yes, via email.
MoxiPresent does, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sends it to that email. Mm-hmm.
Does it distribute?
No,
automatically
it does not.
to the, okay.
So it basically sends you templates, and then under each template, there's a button that says basically share or launch or something to that effect. Okay. And so it's up to the agent to go in and actually distribute it.
Yes. Okay. So that's what I just wanted to emphasize before we move on to you, Brett, before I hand over the mic to you, so to speak, the virtual mic. For those of you who have listings, for those of you who are in leadership positions at your respective companies, MoxiPresent is automated, right? Automatic distributed to you, the agent. Now it's up to the agent, right? As Brett just mentioned and confirmed, that it's up to the agent to distribute that information, to post that social media link, to mail out those flyers, to send out those emails, to share that website. Okay. And without any of that, without the agent taking that next step, it just kind of is wasted. That opportunity is wasted. Right? But then we get these comments. Oh, but Alex, you know, our listings in our service market area, they sell in 2 hours. We don't need to market anything. Sells like hotcakes, properties are. Okay. But I think what we want to do is we want to take advantage when we do have those listings to leverage those, right? To leverage the marketing materials and to show your next seller, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, look at all the cool things that we're going to do for you. And I'm going to share out and broadcast for you when we list your property. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure that you know that it's not automatically distributed to your sphere of influence, let's say, for example. But that's why you want to use MoxiPresent, and then right around the corner for some of you, Moxie Engage, to distribute and send this material out and share and broadcast.
And Alex, I think you brought up an important point too, is if you are in a busy market and there is just properties flying around, well, guess who's going to have their marketing out there first? The person that has to go on Canva and spend an hour creating a flyer or a postcard, or the one that gets it automatically in their email right after it lists, right? So you're able to, get these posted ASAP once the listing goes live. So number one, your property has a better shot at being one of those ones that sells very quick. And number two, you're going to beat the other agents that don't have this tool to market most likely with their marketing. Not in all cases, but it gives you a great chance to do that. So the other part too is, it's if you're still getting in front of eyeballs, and those eyeballs might reach about this property and say, oh, unfortunately, we've already got 2 offers on that, but there's others. Can I talk to you about it? That's a lead, right? We got a qualified lead. So, even in tight markets, we hear again and again how well that this program, MoxiPresent, works for agents and brokerages.
Awesome. Thank you, Brett. So I'll hand over the virtual mic to you. Actually, is Amy on the line? I forgot this part. Miss Amy?
Unfortunately, I think Amy got double booked.
She did. Okay, so I'll take over from Amy. So this
Yeah.
is, and I was just thinking of one thing that when you were talking about Moxie Impress, let me go back to the slide. Right. So what you want to make sure you do is distribute this information when you receive that listing, right? When you get that listing, all this is automatically prepared for you. Keep in mind, those of you who, let's say, are at a single office, maybe not a large office, some of our affiliates, the larger offices, have marketing departments dedicated to do exactly this. What Moxie Impress does automatically for you. Does that make sense? Hopefully, what I'm trying to say is, you're understanding what I'm trying to say is that some larger affiliates of ours have dedicated marketing teams that spend time, just like how Brett mentioned, right? Hour, 2 hours to create this information for you, for their agents. But now Moxie Impress does it automatically for you. Okay, whether big office, small office, anything in between. So resources for you. MoxiWorks learning resources are now in all your brand university, right? So based on which brand you're at, right? In your learning library, you have all this resource material on every one of the MoxiWorks products of the suite. Does that make sense? You have self-paced learning modules. And all you have to do is when you log into your portal, right? Your brand's university, you just have to click on Learning Library and then use the search bar and you just simply type in Moxie. Okay? All the resources for all the MoxiWorks products are now available. This is in addition to what you're going to find on our success portal, right? Which is support.moxieworks.com. That's separate. So in addition to support.moxieworks.com that hopefully all of you have visited already, you have your brand university that has a ton of stuff in your learning library, okay? So make sure you surf around and you can see that your learning resources, you're gonna be probably here in participant. You have all these rollout guides. If you're like brand new to your particular office, brand new to MoxiWorks, you have all these PDF files that will step-by-step walk you through on getting up to speed. Okay, your leadership team is gonna have access to additional resources of which they're gonna be able to share with you, all these checklists, these kind of quick reference guides, otherwise known as little cheat sheets, so that if you need help, you ask your product champion at your office. If you don't know your product champion's name or who it is, you want to ask around, okay? Because that person is receiving an additional level of support from us so that they can help you and everybody else in your office to learn more and be more comfortable with the MoxiWorks platform, okay? So that's your product champion. You may be on this call, you may be the product champion at your office, but calls like this on the MoxiWorks hours, you want to share this link so that you're not having to kind of rehash this same information, that they can also attend directly. Okay, so here's you, participant, you got getting started guides, all of this information. Again, two-prong approach from your brand's university, plus everything that we have already in the MoxiWorks support.moxieworks.com, otherwise known as the Success Portal. Now, Brett, I am going to hand over the mic to you. We're going to have Brett with our 15 minutes of MoxiWorks on MoxiPresent, creating a custom page.
Why, thank you, sir. So what we're going to talk about is, as you see on the screen, how to create custom pages in MoxiPresent. Now, I'm going to show a couple of different examples and also talk you through a few different other ways that you can accomplish this using MoxiPresent. So we're going to talk about adding custom pages, both as number one, how could you add PDFs as pages? This is a great feature, especially if somebody's coming on newer to MoxiWorks. that basically you can, if you have PDF guides, if you have PDF materials, you can very quickly and easily upload these PDFs within MoxiPresent as a page, as creating a new page, and it will actually convert these pages from a PDF into single pages in the presentation. So this is great for a few different reasons, which I'll go over afterwards. Second off, MoxiPresent has built-in support for rich media. And what do I mean by that? Well, you have a couple different options. You can add video very quickly and easily from sources such as YouTube, Dailymotion, Vimeo, just by clicking a link. And I'll show you how that works. And then you can also use an embed code that allows you to add in other types of rich media. So for example, if you're a BombBomb user, you can actually get an embed code for your video, drop it in, and I'll show you where you would do that. Okay, so right now I'm gonna go ahead and start sharing my screen, and we will show you exactly what I am talking about. So let me go ahead and hit this. Now, everybody should see, I'm just in a MoxiWorks base presentation I just created. It's just very quickly and easily. This works the exact same way if you're in a seller presentation, a buyer tour, a buyer presentation, or a non-listing presentation. So if I want to add a page, and we'll start with video, right? All I have to do is click this Add Page button. And then I can either add from my library or create new. For now, I'm going to create new. Now I have two options here. I can either build it, which means creating my own custom content, or upload PDF pages, which means all I have to do is upload a PDF and it'll automatically create pages. What I'm going to do this time is hit build page. Now, when you hit build page, you have a couple different layouts you can start from. Don't overthink this because it's very easy to, once you're in the page, to edit in and add new panels. So they've just given you some suggested types you can do. And for each one of these panels, you can have different types of media. So for example, on this one here that I've got highlighted, in this top left quadrant, I can have that all be text. I have this top right quadrant be a photo. I could have this bottom left quadrant be a video, and I can put more text bottom right. Then if I wanted to add panels, I could. But since I'm doing a video, I think videos deserve their own page, unless you have something really striking you want to say about it. So what I'm going to do is click this blank page, create. Now, once I've done that, you can see that I've got 4 options in the middle: text, image, video, and more. I'm going to walk through each one quickly. If I click on text, you'll see that I have the offer here, the ability here to type in text. And if you've ever used Microsoft Word, it should be super simple and easy. You can see that we've got our format here, which is basically the size of the text. We've got our bold, italic, underline, our usual things, your text colors, whether you want to have a justified or centered, a bullet list, or if you want to insert a link, you can do it there. Now, for this, I'm just going to just put in some sample text. So we'll just say hello. Let's say that if I wanted to add a new part to this page, see this plus button? All I have to do is hit plus. It'll say, okay, how many modules do I want? Do I want 2, 3, 4? Say 2. Sizing, right now you can see the bar is so that we have a smaller box here or a bigger box here. I can just slide that. There's even or that way. So you have a lot of pretty easy flexibility to recreate things. We'll hit okay. Now, if you decide that you don't want this part here, all I have to do is hit the trash can, and that area goes away. So very quick and easy to be able to create information in there. So now if I want to add in, we did text. So let's go ahead and add in 2 modules. This one I'm going to do an image. Now I have an image library, or I can go ahead and upload images. So I do actually have an image library that for some reason is not showing. I think it's, oh, there we go. So if I just want to use this nice image right here and I hit add, you can see that it'll automatically put that picture in there. Super easy. If I wanted to add new images, I could do it where I was at. Now your options for imaging, I always like to mention this because you actually have some flexibility. You can have it all the way over to the right. You can have it centered. You can have it over to the left. You can see mine just fills the whole box there. But then I also have the ability to, again, embed a link. and I can put in an image caption. Quick, easy, no problem. Now for more, this is kind of our potpourri. Now you can in this add in a YouTube video. It's not the easiest way to do it. You can add in, here's your YouTube video, daily motion. Again, I'll show you the easy way to do that. You can add in an iframe if you're familiar with those. You can embed other types of media, insert attachments, etc. So if you have like condo docs or something like that you want to have in there, you can very quickly and easily do that. Now, typically what people will use this for is they'll go to source. So when I click on source, you'll see there's this box, and this would be where you would copy and paste an embed code, which would embed something into your presentation. This would be how you would get a Matterport tour in there. This is how you would get a BombBomb tour in there. Anything that gives you an embed code for a widget, this is where you would do that. But let's talk about video. So I'm going to go back and just cancel my little page here. And we're going to create a page, create new. We're going to build it from scratch, just like I did before. And this time I'm going to pick the big old blank one. Now for video, I can add again from YouTube, Vimeo, or Dailymotion. So all I need to do is I'm going to pop over to YouTube and I will grab a link, which if you're unfamiliar how to do that, all you have to do is when you go to a YouTube video, you'll see a button that says share. You'll click that button, share, and that will automatically give you a YouTube link. All you have to do is click the word copy. And then when you're in MoxiPresent, you just paste that URL right there. Once I do that, I hit add. And then one thing I always do just to make sure it's where I want it to be, I click the video once I'm in there. And I make sure that it actually plays. You'd be amazed how many people do that, and they'll have a video that for some reason either has an error message because perhaps they use music they shouldn't, etc. So now all I have to do is hit save, and I can name it. So I'm just going to call this MoxiWorks Overview. And I'm not going to be creative today, and I'll use the same description. And now I'm going to go ahead and save it to my pages. And we've got it. So now if I click this X up here, you will see now that in my presentation, and I apologize, we've had some bad storms down here in where I live. And so my internet's a little slow today, but this would show my video page right here. Now, what's cool about this is now the next time I want to create a presentation, and this goes for the PDFs as well. The next time I want to create a presentation, do I have to do that whole thing again? Nope. All I have to do is hit add page, add from library, and you can see my pages. As it pulls them up there, right there is Moxie Overview. So if I want to add that, I can click that button and very quickly and easily add it to my page. So now if I close and go back to my Realogy presentation here, you can see that it is in there. Now, let's talk about adding a PDF. So for this example, instead I'm going to hit add page. This time I'm going to create new, but I'm going to click upload a PDF page. Now again, this couldn't be easier. All we need to do is to go through and click on choose file. And you can see I've got right here, create custom page. You can say where you're going to save it. And again, you'd hit upload. Now this one, it takes a little bit to upload just because there's multiple pages, and it will go ahead and add one for each one. So I did it earlier so I can show you what it looks like. So you can see here that 7-page guide, which, hey, what did I pick? How to create a custom page. You can see that it's all in here. So if I go through here and I look at this, and this is a great reminder, I got this from support.moxieworks.com. So if you're not following everything I'm putting down, you can just literally Google MoxiPresent create page, and it will lead to this help article. But if there's a page in here, let's say I don't like, let's say, oh, I don't like it. Like perhaps I've got a guide of must-see attractions in blank market, and a couple of them are places that maybe aren't around anymore. For whatever reason, I want to delete it. Any of the pages you can reorder just by drag and drop. But then you can also create a custom page. I'll take page number 6 here. And all you have to do is hit that little X button. And if you take that, hit that X button, it will delete that page from your presentation. Now, this is helpful too. If we have, perhaps we've got a 26-page seller's guide or a 20-page PDF from our brand that talks about everything that our brand does to help us market a listing. Well, if we're sending something and we say, hey, I don't really want to send all 20 pages, you can literally upload the whole guide and then you'll have them in there. You upload it once and they're there forever. And you'll have that whole guide in there that you can pick and choose which pages you want to do. And here, I'll show you an example of that. Again, I'm sorry, I apologize for my internet being slow. But if I click on Add from Library, it will again pull up my pages. Oh, here, I'll go back into it. So if I click Add Page, Add from Library, and if I click on My Pages, you can see here, here's where I uploaded it earlier today. So you can see all those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But I've got things like, here's a new resident checklist, why Moxie works. If I keep on scrolling down, here's case studies that I've had from before. So if I click on, oh, I want to add this, I'm a Sotheby's agent. All I have to do is click that. And now if I go back in to my report, and I'm done in here. Okay, great. It's saving. You also have the ability to add brokerage pages as well. So if you're at a brokerage level, you can create content that is then pushed out to all of your agents. What you see here under report pages, we've covered before, but while I'm waiting, I'll mention it again, is any of these report pages, you can see that this is a blank report, the one that I created. But if this was a buyer's guide, or buyer tour, it would have all the normal standard pages for a buyer tour. But there may be pages that you want to add or subtract, and that's where you would do that. So now if I go ahead and pull back up my presentation here, I think I missed a button, so I don't want to lead you astray. So here, we'll try that one more time. So if I go to my pages, and we say case study, we click add, page added, great. We have to let it finish saving. Now, if I want to view any of these pages, perhaps we don't know what they look like, I could click these 3 dots. I can look at the print layout. I can look at the landscape layout. I can rename it, or I can also copy it to a team library, which is super helpful. Let's see if my slow internet is still saving. So I apologize. I'll tell a joke while we're waiting. How do you catch a unique rabbit? Unique up on it. All right. So thank you, Alex. I'm here all week.
Well, you better come up with more jokes. Your internet is super slow, bro.
It's really driving me crazy today.
What in the world? I just wanted, in the meantime, while we're waiting for you to save, just wanted to maybe ask questions, a couple questions that are in chat of you. Regarding Moxie Impress, going back to Moxie Impress materials, are we able to, once they get their hands on Moxie Engage, automatically distribute with their sphere of influence people that are their people in Moxie Engage? How does that work?
Basically, what you have to do is you would, in terms of the emails that come through, everything else, anything you create in Moxie Impress, Engage and Impress don't talk to each other like that yet. We purchased Moxie Impress a little over 1.5 years ago. So that's something that'll be coming down the pike. But for now, what you would do is you would create that marketing asset, and then you could go into Moxie Engage and then send it through Engage, attaching that asset to whatever you send. So it's a 2-step process at this point. One thing I did get asked earlier about Impress, Impress does work with Express Docs. So if you want to do a mailing, et cetera, it does connect to Express Docs, and you're able to use all of their functionality that Express Docs offers. So that's a really nice feature right there. So I'm going to give up on my slow internet, but I think you guys all get the idea. In an ideal world, we'll just try this one. There's that page. So for example, what the pages look like, this is super helpful, by the way. So if I click on this page, you can see it's right there. And then if I hit add, You can also preview it, which I like a lot. So I can see like, what would it look like if I print it portrait or landscape? So any other questions I can answer about, I showed you how to create a page using a PDF, showed you how to do one with video. As far as materials in Present from the brand and an Impress from the brand and an Engage for the brand, every brand kind of has their own amount of materials they're creating. So you would want to talk to your brand representative about timing on when the brand specific materials will be pushed to the accounts. So yeah, they all are doing various different, I know BHG has some in their account already. So it depends on the brand you're with, but I know that what I've been told by our tech team is that every brand is kind of doing their own slate of customization and campaign and templates to use in the various Moxie products. So you would want to talk to your brand representative to find out what's coming down the pike for your particular brand.
Excellent. Brett, if you could take a moment to look at the chat while I bring something else.
Sure, I'll take a peek here.
Can everybody see my screen now?
Yeah, just make sure you're in speaker view because it's showing the notes. Okay, here.
Let's see. Let me stop the share.
Okay, I would, for the question about the admin area, I'm not actually an admin in my demonstration account. And yes, I did say that joke, Valerie. So unfortunately, I can't show the admin area because I don't have that access on my account. I know there are some admin specific training videos on support.moxieworks.com. All you'd want to do is when you get into the MoxiPresent area or whatever area you're looking for, just do a search for admin and you'll find the admin content. And I believe most of them actually have a whole section for admin. So, okay. I see Mitz, you've got a question about how do you resave a page? I can show that, not a problem. So if I'm in Engage, no, pardon me.
You got to share your screen?
Yeah, I'm going to share it one more time. As soon as you get yours ready, I'm going to share it again. So
yeah, go ahead and do yours.
Okay.
Share yours.
Yeah, since we have a little bit of time, I'll answer Mitz's question here. So if I share my screen here, you can see that I've pulled up a listing presentation here in MoxiPresent. You click on the section that's estimate. This is where our estimated pricing is and our estimated proceeds. Net proceeds. So how do I save multiple versions of a net proceed in here? I would pull up this one. And then if I want to make a copy of it, I just click copy. And that'll give me a third one. Discussion detail. So that's how you bring up the multiple net sheets. So now you can hide previous ones or you can show them all. Or you can remove them, etc. Pardon me. So for this one, I just go in and change it to 435 and whatever I needed to change. One thing I have been asked is, can I create a net proceeds sheet template that automatically has in like what my brokerage fees are, settlement costs, etc.? Not currently. So every time you go in to do a net sheet, you would need to copy that information in to the net sheet. What I tell folks is I usually just have a notepad document called net sheet that has all that type of stuff in there, percentages, whatever it may be. And that way I can just go to that quickly and easily prepare that net sheet using that kind of cheat sheet that I have in Notepad. So I think I got to all of them.
Just one quick thing that I wanted to point out. And because Brett, when you receive let's say a 7-page PDF file like you had, right? And then you added that to a presentation and it broke it up into 7 different pages. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, it's a 7-page PDF. It'll get 7 pages.
Yeah, yeah.
And it works. So yeah, it works up to 50 pages, I believe.
Excellent. So I'm thinking that from a best practices perspective, those of you who are thinking, okay, I could build my library. It's a lot of cool stuff, right? And so when you receive these PDF files or you read an article or you receive this email with a nice chart, you can build these pages within your library so that you can pull them in when you need it. Like, oh my gosh, what was that one page that I read that might be useful in this listing presentation, right? Or this buyer tour presentation, which we're going to talk about next week or 2 weeks from now, right? So I think it's great when you demonstrated that, Brett, where that 7-page document now created 7 individual pages. So now they can pick and choose which ones they want to display or grab and import into a new presentation. Excellent. Other questions, folks? I know that Brett from Janine, where do I find the original ERA listing presentation in Present?
Yeah, that's why I spoke to earlier. Every brand kind of has their own different list of what they're creating and their timeline in terms of when those will be pushed out. So you would want to talk to your brand rep on that.
Yeah.
Brett?
Yes.
We've got a question for you.
Okay.
Not a question, a comment. For the ERA brokers that are already on here, it is there and all completed out for the listing presentation for the ERA.
Great.
I have a question, however. Very often when you're creating materials, you don't want to white page it. Is there some place we can go to get the background artwork that we're seeing, like that page right there with Amy's name on it, or that page blank?
That is a cover page template. There isn't just kind of a blank page that has that matching blue, whatever it may be. The cover page is going to be the closest thing you have to it. What typically I see agents do for something like that is that you would go in and just create a document in something else that has a blank page behind it and just create it like a custom JPEG that has that. That's kind of the workaround for now. I don't know if it's on the roadmap to add in the ability to put a background behind text in the text box. But for now, that's the only way I've seen it done.
Can we upload that particular cover page? Is it available blank?
Yeah. This page, if you go to add from library, it's one of your report pages. It's called cover page, and you can add it to any of the reports.
Thank you.
Yep.
Just real quick question to answer Joel's question. All recordings, including this one, will be emailed to you. Links to all the Zoom recordings, past and current, are going to be emailed to everybody who's a registrant, right? So all of you on this call will be receiving a copy of the Zoom recording link. Okay.
I'm also putting the support.moxieworks.com link in there. These sessions aren't really designed to be tech support. There's a lot of things I can tell you how to do, but some of the more complicated questions or things that involved kind of Realogy-based software or Realogy systems, we're in early access, folks, and so a lot of this, Alex, myself, we haven't seen. It's changing or it's being created as we're giving these. So, most of your common use questions, if you're between weeks. Because we've been around so long, Google has really done a good job of indexing our support page. So if you literally Google MoxiPresent, how do I blank, most likely you're going to find a hit for it, or you can just surf around in there, which helps out. But beyond that, you can always try a support ticket for support.moxieworks.com. Our support team is linked to the Realogy support team because there's two sides to this technology at the current moment. So if it's a question like from Leads Engine, obviously that would be on the Realogy side, but our teams work in tandem. So it's just good to have the tickets put through there and they can help you with that. So
regarding a question on Teresa, Leads Engine, we could take that offline. Again, we just wanted to kind of just clarify, right? The session, the MoxiWorks hours, we designed it so that not so much if you have a question or technical support, but yeah, for strategic informational purposes. And just kind of wanted to share before I forget, right? On MoxiPresent, on the power of MoxiPresent, right? One of our managers of an office in the Northwest, right? They held a contest on MoxiPresent. And I may have shared with this last 2 weeks ago. They held a contest on MoxiPresent. Which agent in their office, they had 350 agents, could send the most CMAs, right? Comparative market analyses using MoxiPresent to their sphere of influence during the month of December. Winner got dinner for two, their choice of restaurant, right? They had, I think, over 900 CMAs sent out to their customers the broker manager said that, Alex, pretty much everybody got a deal from that competition. The number one agent had over 200 CMAs sent out in the month of December. So is it easy? I think for somebody to send out 200 separate CMAs in 1 month, that must be pretty, I would say, right? Unless she didn't sleep, right? That must have been quite the automated process. Okay, so just something to think about. Just wanted to share what's possible and some of the successes that we've heard from other users of the platform. Okay, so the manager said, oh, Alex, almost everybody got a deal from that competition. Okay, and guess what? They're reaching out to their sphere of influence. And I think the script that they used was, it was kind of like subtle, right? They go, oh, you know, I'm testing out this new platform. Just want to get some feedback before I use it in real life. I wanted to just send you, what do you think about it? More or less, that was the script, right? To their CMA. And they, you know, they sent out the CMAs and, oh gosh, I could get that for my property, right? So it started that discussion. They reached out to people who really they haven't seen or touched in a while. So yeah, if you're looking for ideas, send out those CMAs using MoxiPresent. Amazing results, at least at this one of our affiliates that shared. Other questions? We're having Telephone Tuesday. Very good, Claudia. Learn how to do CMA, call 3 people, tell them, watch it. Yeah, very good. That's good, right? And I think that the way that they used it, right? The way they couched it, right? I want to get your feedback on this, right? So it's totally right. They're not being, you know, too salesy, so to speak, right? So I think that approach worked out really, really well. Other questions? I just want to, Teresa, is there a tutorial on the process of responding to lead from Leads Engine? I received the lead, enter the lead and engage, document detail. When my broker looks at in Leads Engine, it says, I haven't responded. Okay, so Teresa, regarding your question on Leads Engine, yeah, if you can send me an email on that specifically, what's happened, because what she needs to do, if it hasn't been updated, you need to call your brand's 800 number or your brand's email support email and ask for help, specifically on Leads Engine. Okay, so when you have Leads Engine, those of you who don't know what Leads Engine is, it's the next generation of lead router. It's not for agent really to use or interface. It's not agent facing. It's for your leadership team, your managers, your broker owners, where it automatically routes these leads that the company gets and it sends it to agents. And for your manager to not get a reply that you've responded, right? We need to know about that so that we can resolve any issues. Thank you very much, Teresa, for that. But yeah, your product champion, broker owner manager, they should call your brand's 800 number for support on Leads Engine, okay? Other questions? I have 2 agents in Leads Engine who are getting routed through Leads, but no longer have been removed. And have been removed from Dash for a few weeks. What do I do? Well, yeah, same thing on that question. Anything regarding lead router, Wendy, if it's not updated, it should be updated 3 times a day. Okay, when you update in Dash to any system, right, to Leads Engine, it should be updated 3 times a day. If it's at the end of the day, it's overnight. Okay, but for specific questions on Leads Engine, if it's not working properly, call that 800 number. Email support for your specific brand. Great questions, everybody. Other questions? Here's Dean. Teresa should use a Moxie Gauge Manager. Okay, very good. We have Dean on the line. Thank you, Dean, for chiming in. I cannot add my headshot photo to my mobile reports presentation. Yeah, Shauna, if you're not able to perform an action as advertised, so to speak, or as it's supposed to work, right? Support.moxieworks.com, your one source for any and all of your questions regarding the platform. And if it's something that, right, that is needs to be worked on and other people are asking about it, let's say, hopefully everybody gets the same response and, you know, they're working on it together. They didn't know how to fix it. Did you get, Shauna, did you get a ticket number? You want to get a ticket number, ladies and gentlemen, when you go to support.moxieworks.com. That way we can track it. Everybody can see if it's been escalated, if need be. I think that's awesome, Claudia. Telephone Tuesday on March 1st. That's a great way to start the month, right? Learn how to do a CMA. Call 3 people. Tell them to watch for email for real estate review. And real estate, those successfully sent through 3 guys within 2 hours. Get ask me about my house is worth t-shirt. Oh, very good. That's great. I think those promotions are awesome. That's a great competition, a great activity for the office. I think everybody should, we're going to have to broadcast that one. That's a good one. Telephone Tuesday, March 1st. Great way to kick everything. Any other questions? Let me check. Yep. Yes, Wendy, 800 number. You have a specific 800 number specific to your brand. If you have received an email from the Realogy product marketing team, it's probably on that email that has a number and a specific email to your brand. Yeah, if you're the product champion, you receive that. But if you're agent, you don't have to worry about that. It would be really, if there's a live person we could talk to for help with leads engine instead of having to go back and forth. Live person. Yeah, Wendy, if there's a ticket number that you have or you called already your brand support line, let us know so that we can escalate it and then that, you know, we can get you in touch with somebody live. But yeah, don't wait. Just let us know, you know, who you've spoken to. If there's an email thread that you could share with us, that way we can escalate it on our end. Okay. Thank you for letting us know and sharing. Other questions, ladies and gentlemen? All right. So with that, we're going to end the session. Oh, let's see. One more new message. Yep. All right. Thank you all for attending. We'll see you in a couple weeks. And if you have any questions, feel free to respond. You're going to get a follow-up email probably tomorrow with the recording link that you could share with your teams, with your fellow agents, your leadership team. But thank you all very much. Have a great day. Stay safe. And until next time, hopefully everybody has a great rest of the week. Thank you very much. Thank you, Angie. Thank you, Brett. Thank you, Dean, for helping with our call today. And we'll see you all in a couple weeks. Stay safe, everyone.